Are you a lawyer? Are you serving us?
Regarde là-haut, ils ont même une tourglougle. Si on a soif, on saura où glouglouter.
All of the websites and brands we show were not licensed, and we didn't get permission to show them. Because of copyright law, at least in the US, you don't have to. It's something called fair use, and we wanted the internet to feel like the real internet that we all use every day, which is why we chose to use those brands, but we didn't license any of the signs. You know, you license the video games, and where, you know, if Ralph is interacting with Qbert or something like that, we had to get permission from that company because it's a character, you know. But if you're just using the name of a website or a brand, you don't have to get permission. And so we didn't.
Or that's what our lawyers at the studio say. I'm a little scared to go back to the U.S. Yeah. There may be police waiting for us at the airport. So can we stay here in France?
Quoi?
We always say, like, story is everything, you know, and if the references aren't supporting the story, then they're not in the movie. So in the beginning, it's like, oh, it'd be funny if we had this or that or this one. But then there comes a time where you have to start kind of weeding them out. And it literally, if it is not supporting the story, then it doesn't stay in the movie.
And I think with regard to some of the specific things we chose, we know that in 5 years, maybe there won't be, some of our references will be dated. But if the story feels timeless, and it's this universal story of friendship between, you know, in a comedy about two friends, there will always be friendships. And so if that story still makes sense in 50 years, then we will have done our job, even if Amazon no longer exists or whatever, you know.
Mange mon lapin. Allez.
Ralph, tu voudrais pas en donner un peu au petit chat aussi?
Yes, in its creation, but it was a scene that was in the movie early on, and it was in the first trailer for the movie when it came out. And after the first trailer, we had to cut that scene because it didn't reflect the story. Just like it was saying, like, if it's not reflecting the story, or if it's making the story too long, we have to let it go. So we cut it out, but people are saying, but it's in the trailer. Like, people say, like, hey, where was that Bunyan Kid scene with the pancakes and the milkshakes? And Phil said, well, what if we use it as like a post-credits, joke, and have the little girl upset that it wasn't in the movie, and it leads right into the actual scene. I think it's much better used in that way, that it's actually a meta joke from the trailer.
Right,
It immediately feels like the internet to me.
And it is a tip of the cap to Monty
to Mr.
Python.
Creosote.
Yeah, for sure.
Very subtle.
Introducing
very
Monty Python to a young generation. When Ralph is in the comments room and being trolled by anonymous people who hate him, we wanted to put Ralph in that situation because so many of us have experienced, negative comments or mean, hateful comments from anonymous trolls. And we then looked at Ralph and his own insecurity as really the antagonist in the film, because if you aren't, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble on the internet or in the real world if you aren't fully comfortable with who you are, if you aren't comfortable in your own skin. And so we did put Ralph in a position where he was experiencing the internet in a way through the negative comments and sort of chasing,
eavesdropping on a conversation that he wasn't supposed to hear, even,
and pursuing likes and hearts and love, in a way that wasn't really true to his soul, I guess you would say.
Not really fixing the problem. Thinking that money is going to fix what's broken between Ralph and Vanellope.
Yeah, and then so we chose to make Ralph's own self-doubt and insecurity really the villain in the movie.
Bienvenue sur eBay.
Mesdames et messieurs, voici le lot suivant. Une toile sur velours noir d'un chaton dépressif.
J'ai l'impression qu'il me regarde avec ses yeux.
Oh,
Worse, hating the haters.
yeah.
Nah, we love everybody, even the haters. Come on, we make movies for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to, well, it's here, VR technology. I just haven't actually sat down with it because we've been so busy making this movie. I think that's really cool. I think it looks kind of goofy, I think people in their living room kind of like that. If they can make it communal some way, the way that they did with online gaming, being able to kind of play with your friends, if they can make it some sort of communal experience rather than being in your own little bubble, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.